All right, folks, what's going on, man? It's your boy Money Mac coming back to you again from the set. And now that I've had a few months to digest the Galaxy S25 Ultra, I got some thoughts. I got some issues, and I'm gonna let you know whether this phone really is for me or we going back to the Pixel. Let's get it. So generally, like when I first did my initial impressions or my initial review of this device, it was positive, so to speak. I didn't find any issues that I just really couldn't stomach or really couldn't deal with. But again, after having this device for a few months, definitely some issues we gotta iron out. And this entire video is being shot, audio, all of that being shot with S25 Ultra. Again, these are the ideal conditions, but once you go inside, things just fall apart completely, and this ain't a happy experience. So my main issue, like primary issue with this device is the front-facing camera. For someone who does vlogging or, you know, these type videos, the front-facing camera just ain't it. Now, as you can see, the conditions are ideal. There's plenty of light outside, good to go. But once you get inside on this 16 megapixel camera, it just ain't, it's not it. But to its credit, I may be just spoiled by the Pixel camera. That front-facing camera was legit. And now that I've had that device and this one, it's kind of hard to go back to a 16 megapixel shooter. I'm 6'3" almost, in all intents and purposes, and I gotta fully extend my arm out just to get myself in frame. So the focal length just ain't it for me. So that's number one. Now, could I have realized that in my initial review? Yes, and I did bring that up. But having actually trying to use this to do vlogging style videos, it just ain't it. But one of the positives for this device is the ecosystem. And you can see you got the ring on, and the Galaxy Watch Ultra is at the house. Didn't want to wear that one today, rocking the Pixel Watch 3. So the ecosystem is great. When you think about health, fitness tracking, all of that good stuff, which is things that I need. So yeah, that's one of those things that keep me in the ecosystem of this device. But again, I could just get any Galaxy device for that instead of getting the head honcho, the Ultimate Supreme, the Ultra, whatever you want to call it. Now, one might say that I'm being very, very nitpicky when it comes to this camera and this device, but when you're talking upwards of $1,200 for a device, man, and the progress that the Ultra line in general has always been head honcho, king of Android, right? I don't really see it that way this year. I think they did take a step back in regards to the front-facing camera. And another issue that I ran into quite often is the software. For whatever reason, the two S25 Ultras that I've had has been super buggy. And that doesn't come down to just being an Android thing. It comes down to it being an actual, I don't know, a major software issue when you talk about this device. My camera stops on and off most of the time if I'm not using pro video mode. If I'm just using the regular camera mode, video photo mode, yeah. But if I'm using pro, then I don't have that issue. The device overheats, and it's not central to one device. It's not a rogue app. I've tried all of that. It doesn't work. So that's another reason why I feel like Samsung normally comes very, very quick with the updates for the device, but for me, I thought maybe it's isolated to just the one S25 Ultra that I had. But I had two, and both had the same issue. Some of my notifications not getting to the watch. Those are just to name a few, but for a device over the $1,200, I don't see it. I don't see myself spending that kind of scratch on the device where I'm having constant issues. I think generally this year and last year has just been like for Apple and Samsung, it's just been one of those years where the devices, their flagship devices, just wasn't it, because they kind of mailed it in because they have something else newer coming in the next iteration that they're coming with. So I do believe that's what it is, because the 16 Pro Max was buggy as all get down. I didn't like it. The S25 Ultra, I like it, but with the issue that I'm having, it just ain't it for me. So it's been a struggle. And as you can tell, at this point, conditions are less than ideal right now. The sun has went back in. We got crazy overcast right now, and kind of the camera kind of falls apart just a little bit. But it is what it is at this point. So the end all be all is this device worth the price of admission for me? Not really. It hasn't been for a lot of people this year because of the S Pen issue, with it not being Bluetooth S Pen and the lacking front-facing camera for me. So again, I didn't really use the S Pen with the Bluetooth functionality anyway, and truth be told, I really hardly ever use the S Pen anyway. And most people got this device just so they can say they have the biggest and the best Android phone, because respect, this was the best Android phone available in the US. So again, is it worth the price of admission? I don't think so. I think I'm perfectly fine with my Pixel Pro and Pixel 9 Pro XL, and I think the OnePlus 13 will pretty much round it out for me so far, because we're only in the month of April, and I do believe that there's going to be some more devices that drop this year that can give the OnePlus 13, and even though the Pixel 9 Pro XL processor is, lacking in regards to some of the specs that Samsung come with, the Qualcomm, it is what it is. But pound for pound, I think those two devices hold their own in this space and can really be crowned the Android phone of the year so far for me. So that's all I got for this follow-up review, man, on the Samsung S25 Ultra and the lack thereof of things that I don't think I can really deal with. So I've already sold one S25 Ultra, probably gonna hold on to this one for a while and probably do a trade-in or something, or I may just sell it, who knows. But it just ain't for me, man. If you watch the review, then I kind of had these same concerns prior to, so having 2 months extra with it just kind of made me lean into it even more. I gave it a shot, I gave it a fair shot, but just not for me. But that's all I got, man. Thanks for watching this one. Again, honest reviews here in the set, man. All this stuff paid for by me, out of my pocket. I ain't got no sponsors. I need sponsors, just saying. But yeah, I'll catch you folks in the next one, man. Hit that like and subscribe button. Comment down below on what your thoughts were on the S25 Ultra. Are you rocking with yours? You have the OnePlus 13, or you got a different Android phone altogether? And yeah, it probably runs circles around that. Drop a comment down below. Let me know. If it's something I ain't checked out, I'm willing to check that out. So, until the next one. Peace.